All right, everyone. So I'm going to be making lunch right now, and this is going to be a food pantry lunch. I'm going to be making tuna salad for Glenn. I don't eat tuna salad, but I'm not sure what I'm having yet. But I'm going to be using some of these medium shells that we got at the pantry this past Thursday. A can of peas that we also received from the pantry, and this can of chicken of the sea solid white albacore tuna. So that's that white solid meat. Albacore is usually always white solid, and that's what we like to use. So we received this from the pantry a couple weeks ago, and then going to use some Miracle Whip. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and boil up the shells. And while the water's boiling for that, I'm going to be shredding up the albacore tuna. And it should be simple. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and start shredding up this albacore tuna. Again, you can see this is really solid white meat. Unlike the just regular tuna where it comes out like in shreds and kind of mushy, this is really solid. And I'm just going to shred this up. I don't know if you could hear that in the background, but I've got water in the tea kettle, boiling some water for some sweet tea for myself. I like to drink sweet tea. Glenn does not. But it is Friday the 23rd, and it's 1:07 in the afternoon, so this is lunch. And it's about 20 something degrees outside. We had 50 degrees the last 2 days, and today was just a reminder to let us know it is still winter. There are snow flurries coming down, but honestly our winter could go well into April, May. May is usually windy and chilly. Easter is often in the house. So yeah, May has been, we've had May where it's really windy and chilly. April, we still get snowstorms. So, yeah, it's kind of like 6 months winter, 6 months summer. Well, once we get outside, it goes from winter to direct summer. We kind of skip spring. Well, we just had spring for the last 2 days, so that's our fake spring. Then it goes back to winter. All right. So I'm just going to wait for the shells to cook, and then we'll get all this done. All right, everyone. So we have the shells all ready. I'm just going to give that a mix. I'm going to use this spoon. Then we're going to put in some peas. I try not to be so rough on the peas so they don't squish. So this is a food pantry meal, but you can also call this a budget meal because this is going to be a couple days serving for Glenn. So, and I didn't even use all the pasta, the box of pasta shells. All right, so now we're going to throw in some Miracle Whip. Give that a mix. Oops. This is super easy to make. So many meals to make that are super easy for those of you that don't cook or don't think you know how to cook. It's super easy to cook. And Glenn will add his own salt and pepper as he wishes. I'm always afraid to over salt it. Pepper's no big deal because he likes a lot of pepper. But salt, I don't even know if he throws salt on here. So I figured out what I'm going to have for lunch. So this is going to be a 2 separate meal lunch. Much like supper. But it's not going to be like major cooking or anything. This wasn't major cooking. Just boiling, cooking your noodles. Your shells. Alright, I'm going to see if this is enough Miracle Whip for him. Okay, so he says 1 more scoop of Miracle Whip, then it should be good. He said, other than that, it's good. Oops, just threw some on my shirt. Alright, folks, so there it is. Tuna salad. Utilizing our food pantry items. Everything but the Miracle Whip was from the food pantry, so that's just an idea of how you can utilize your food pantry, some of your food pantry items, and make a good meal if you like tuna salad. I don't. So this is for Glenn. All right, so I figured out what I'm going to have. So it's super simple, nothing big, just using some leftovers out of the fridge, and I'll show you that in a minute. All right, everyone, so I got Glenn's lunch. He's eating, so now I'm going to make mine. So I have this Fritos mild cheddar cheese. It's opened, it's in the refrigerator, so I need to use that up. So I'm going to make myself some nachos. We got this bag of Tostitos last time I went to the grocery store, and I'm not going to open up a can of beans because it's just me. So these are going to be very generic nachos. Just going to consist of the cheese and a little bit of sour cream. That's it, with the chips. Alright, so that's what I'm going to have for lunch. No big deal. I don't mind it. Stuff has to be used up before it goes bad. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead. I am going to warm up my cheese in a bowl. And I'm going to put my Tostitos on here, warm up the cheese, and then spread it over the chips. Just give it a good mixing. It starts to get watered down as it sits. So, yeah, I don't mind eating the simple stuff like this, just to use that stuff up that's sitting in the fridge. But Glenn's been wanting his tuna salad for a while now, so he's got it now. And he'll eat that for lunch for a couple days. I'm going to go with that. Alright, I'll go with that. I'm going to go warm this up and pour my Tostitos on there. Alright, so I have my cheese here. It's all warmed up. Just going to pour it over. Now, I have a little bit of a story about nachos. It's just another memory with my mom, actually. How many of you remember Kmart? Well, when I was growing up, Kmart was a big store to go to. And they used to have a little cafe. And they used to have a little, kind of like a deli in the middle of the store. And they sold like sandwiches, which were really good. And they had a little patio area in the store where you can sit down and eat. And they had a nacho machine. And maybe this is just because it brings back so many memories for me. Me and my mom used to go to Kmart together a lot. And she used to like to have lunch there. So we ate lunch there. And I often would just get this plate of nachos. And the taste of this really reminds me of that. Maybe that's why I like it. I don't know. And this is all I had on it. Cheese and chips. So, yeah. Me and my mom used to spend time at Kmart. If she was shopping for clothes for us or whatever, she used to take me along. And we used to actually catch the city bus to get to Kmart because my dad sometimes would have to work and he couldn't take us. So believe me and my mom knew every bus route throughout the Bay Area. Yes, I grew up in San Francisco Bay Area, across the bay from San Francisco. Me and my mom knew the bus to everywhere. So, but yeah, we used to have lunch there at Kmart, and I often had these nachos. And again, something that makes me think of her. So, all right, I'm going to eat my lunch.